How's it going, everybody? It's been a minute. Welcome to episode 36 of Garage Built Baits. You already know, it's with Kyle from Throwback. Every once in a while, I'm just very starstruck. And I tell Kyle this. It's like, oh, I'm starstruck. You're a celebrity in this circle, in this niche of everything. And he's like, nah, I'm just a normal dude. And super cool dude, super sweet dude. Kyle is awesome. So, like I said, it's been a while. Me and Kyle filmed and had this interview and did this, filmed this episode back in the beginning of October. Here we are, second week of January 2026 in the new year. So some of this stuff's not as relevant. Like the mini glide is out. People are loving that. It looks pretty freaking sweet. And at the time that I am recording this intro, there's still baits up on the Throwback website. There's Metro blanks for $115. There's some mini glides. There's wake walkers. There's some other stuff on there too. They did a full big restock in their crappie color. And so you guys should go check that out. Hopefully there's still some up by the time you guys are listening to this. So some of the stuff in the episode might not be as relevant, but it's still a great episode. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's number 36. I think in the history of Garage Built Baits, it's hard to stay consistent, but I think 36 episodes is fantastic. It's quite a fair bit of content out there, and you guys enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. This is my baby. And before I get too far into things, I just want to say make sure that you follow on Spotify. Follow the podcast or wherever you listen to the podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Go follow it on YouTube if you want to watch the videos about it. There's a link down below for Buy Me a Coffee. There is a website for just buyer lure code, Garage Built Baits in general. That's going to be coming out. I am pretty dedicated to getting the ball rolling on stuff in 2026. I feel like the beginning of every year, I'm yeah, balls to the wall, we're doing this. But this year feels a lot different. It feels different. Saying it feels different because it's already happening. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean. So 2026 is going to be different. So I did take some time off. Had some stuff in my personal life going on, and it's not all squared away. It might never all get squared away. It's just one of those things where the world can take pieces of you, piece by piece. They'll take parts of you, and it's one of those things where I'm trying to get those pieces back to make myself whole again. Wow, that was really friggin' dramatic, but I feel like it was could be a good visual representation. There's a lot going on, and honestly, ladies and gentlemen out there, if you need help, go and get yourself help. I've been talking to a therapist every week, and honestly, that has helped so much. And does it make you a wicked person? This means maybe you need a little extra help carrying some of that stuff around. And it definitely helps. It helps a lot. I feel I feel lighter with it. And, amongst other things, this past year, 2025 was really about myself trying to grow with everything. So, therapy, a year sober from alcohol, um, being consistent with my diet, nutrition, and training has been like huge. Like my physical health, like I feel way better. Mental health is better. Just got to keep going, working on yourself because at the end of the day, you need to show up for you. And if you have other people out there relying on you, you need to show up for them as well. And you can't do that if you are not doing well. So enough of that. Got a little, maybe a little dramatic. I don't know, but it's my podcast. It's how I feel. That's what wanted to give a little bit of transparency there. But I love you guys. I love you guys for supporting me. You guys seem to really like the podcast. I enjoy doing it. But anyway, here's Kyle from Throwback. I don't really have anything planned. I figured we could just wing it, shoot the shit, and go from there. I guess, for this whole podcast, nothing's planned. I just shoot the shit with everybody.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, well, we'll get right into it. Why don't you
Yeah.
introduce yourself, the man that needs no introduction, and let everybody know what you do?
I'm Kyle. I'm the founder of Throwback Baits, and we make big baits for the people. That's what we do.
hmm And another dude out of the Midwest here. I'm over in like the Black Hills area, and
Nice.
you guys were actually out here like not terribly long ago, weren't you?
Yeah. We were there for 4th of July. We went to Mount Rushmore. We did the Cosmos. I don't know if you've done that in Keystone there. We stayed in what was it? A little resort right outside of Keystone. It was awesome. Such a cool place. Sylvan Lake. Have you been there before?
Yeah. Oh,
That's the spot.
that place is pretty sweet. And then it looks like you guys did the Grace Coolidge area.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I tried. I like found a random article on the internet, and I was like, man, this guy was like hyping up this Grace Coolidge spot a ton for how easy it was to catch all these trout. And so we went there. Me and Mason did, and we could not catch a fish.
Oh
We
man.
saw them. They were like surfacing everywhere, but I mean, I was trying to get him to eat the glide, and he was throwing like even little flies with little float bobbers. But I don't know. It must have been a time of year thing, maybe.
Oh, for sure
Trout,
it's a
trout are
time of
not my
year.
forte.
Yeah, for sure it's a time of year thing because like summer like that is just wicked. They're not wanting to eat anything versus
All right.
yeah, versus like spring and fall when it's colder, they'll just munch on everything and you can catch them on
Dang,
the glide then, which is
that's
pretty
cool.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They
Yep.
were swiping it. I had a few of them. We went all the way out to Yellowstone, and I had a few in like I think it was like the Snake River or something. But they were like all over it out there. It must have been cooler water, but I didn't
Mhm.
stick in. They were just kind of swiping on it, so it was cool. It was fun to watch trout interact with glides.
Oh yeah, it's really cool because and that's the thing, you'll get a ton of swipes, you won't get like a ton of hookups
Apparently,
and you'll get a lot of follows and you'll
sure.
get them like dog packing a glide bait, but
Yeah,
yeah, when you do connect with one, I've caught a couple on a Depths 115, and
yes,
that's not even that big with glide bait, but
right.
it's just freaking cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sick. It's like, and what's funny is I had three glides out there. I had an all pink one, I had an all gold one, and then I had a brown trout one that I painted. That was like pretty. It was a pretty decent brown trout, and they were all over the brown trout one. I ended up breaking it off on a pretty big fish, and I put the pink one on, and they had like zero interest in it. So
hmm
I don't know if they're if super particular to patterns, but it seemed like they were.
Yeah, I always throw like a rainbow trout pattern, and that
Sure.
seems to always I don't know colors like that, especially like more natural.
Hmm.
But then I don't know if you're familiar with like the Arabates Tiny Glide, like a
Yeah.
little
Oh
BF.
yeah.
Yeah, so I do really well with that for trout, but I just have that in just the resin bone color,
Yeah.
and they just demolish it. It's so sweet.
That's sweet. Those things are tiny. They're like small, small. Those are sick baits.
Oh, they're super sick. I will always tell people if you can, you should pick them up because if you're gonna throw BFS, you might as well throw like a tiny glide bait, and it's just
Right.
really stable, and you can do
Yeah.
a bunch of different things with it.
So sick.
So you guys are throwing the mini.
The mini, yeah, that's what I was throwing.
Oh man, when's that gonna be coming out for you guys?
We're probably within a month and a half. I think we're wanting to, do a lot of them right away. We don't want to do the typical release them, make them impossible to get for 6 months. So we're planning to drop like a good amount right away and then have enough, momentum to keep dropping a lot going forward. So we're taking our time a little bit with this one, wanting to roll it out the right way. But yeah, I think we're probably about a month and a half out. So pre-Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I like
Yeah.
what you guys do because you'll show stuff and it's like, hey, this is what we're working on, and then tease it like randomly, and you're like,
6 years later, we'll put it out.
yeah, no, but it's like fun because you see like the softy and you're like, oh yeah, they're working on that. It's like
Uh-huh.
and you like keep giving updates and like are somewhat transparent on what you guys are working on. So it's
Yeah.
like real cool to follow along like that.
I'm glad you have that mindset because most people just get upset. A lot of angry people in the DMs like, "Where's the softy?" Where I'm like, "We're still working on it. We're working on a lot of stuff, and we want to take our time with it." There's no point now at this point to like put out anything that's not ready.
Hmm.
In the beginning, you're like, "Oh, I got to get something out there. Got to get something up." But now it's like we have enough baits. We have baits on the site. We got baits in stores. It's like let's take our time with everything we do and make sure it's as good as we can make it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys have started from the garage. Now you have a workspace, and you guys are
Yep.
on like in retail stores. You guys are in Tackle Warehouse. I think Lake Pro Tackle and some
Yep.
other places that I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Lots of cool stores. We're in a couple awesome stores overseas too. What is it called? Bait Religion in Australia, and then there's another swim bait community which is in Spain. So it's cool to get baits over in stores like in Europe. That's really exciting.
No,
See
that would be
people catching this big perch and big bass over there and the big pike. It's barramundi and those Murray cod. It's exciting. That's been
mhm,
really cool.
that'd be really cool. That'd be like super sick to see like somebody stick like a big Xander on a
Yeah,
throwback.
yeah, it would be. The Xander are cool. I mean, I grew up as a walleye fisherman, just my dad, and the Xander they get so big.
Hmm.
I think they're sick. Apparently, they're not like super well loved over there. They're kind of like just I don't know, a bycatch fish, but I think they're sick.
Oh, it's not like over here where here in the Midwest, walleye reigns supreme
Worship
everywhere.
the walleye.
Controversial opinion. I've caught a few walleye, uh, wet sock when you're pulling it in.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even I got like a 26 incher this summer, and it was just like, I mean, they gave a little fight, but that by the end of it, they're just like, well, we're just gonna kind of circle our way up.
Hmm. But I mean, it still would be because there's some dudes like you see on like Swimbait Underground, like on the flip side, where they have walleye kind of dialed in the spring or fall on like
Yeah.
tiny clashes and like
Oh yeah.
citizens stuff like that.
We had Marshall was up here a couple summers ago. He was fishing the Woody, which is like the cheat code on top on the river at night, right there. And he caught a walleye, like a 23-inch walleye came up and ate it on top. I'm like, they really are when they're fired up and they're hungry, like they'll eat a big soft bait. They'll eat like an 8-inch soft bait. They are not afraid.
Oh, for sure. I seen on YouTube. This was like a couple of years ago already, but SB fishing. He caught a walleye on a musky lure.
Crazy. Yeah, I believe it.
Ridiculous, and
I believe it.
it was a really good walleye too. But
That's cool. Yeah, we actually went out to, I have a friend who lives out near west of Watertown in South Dakota,
mhm,
and we fished out there. We kind of walleye fishing, kind of pike fishing. And we caught so many walleyes on glide baits, like
that's
working them fast. It was on the Metro glide. Like they wanted, like we would, burn it and pause it, and they would come up almost like a jerk bait. If you could fish a glide like a jerk bait, where you could work it really fast and get it to pause, and then work it,
mhm.
and that the walleyes were all over it. So I got a fly killing me right now. There we go.
Um, going back real quick to Xander, there's a
Mm.
place up in North Dakota. I can't remember which lake it is, but they have walleye and Xander, And I've
Really?
always thought it'd be kind of a fun trip to like go up there and try to like target it just to say like, I've caught a Xander. And yeah, it's just like,
Crazy.
yeah, it's one place up in North Dakota. It's like I had I was looking at it kind of extensively there for a bit, and then I have ADHD brain. I was like, okay, now I'm going somewhere else. Like
Sure. Sure.
just, but I think that'd be pretty sick. But
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't. I thought it was just like a European variation. I didn't know it was actually like a fish over here. That's cool.
yeah, I think it's just one of the things where they got stocked and they just have a sustaining population in this lake. And I don't know, it's still like one of those things where um, you kind of gotta really look. If you catch it, you really gotta look at it. It's like, is this a
Sure.
walleye? Is this a Xander?
Yeah, how many Xanders have been caught that people just assume they were walleye? Probably most, honestly.
Yeah, no kidding. But uh, here in the Midwest, you know, a little there might be some controversy like in the Midwest a little bit. Kind of veering off. We're not fish talking fishy related, but so when you play Duck Duck Goose,
Yeah,
are you personally like Duck Duck Goose or Duck Duck Gray Duck?
duck, gray duck.
Oh, dude, that's wicked. That's wild.
Your goose.
Goose all the way, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always been duck, duck. Even like school, that's what they taught us. We played in school, and they would teach us duck, gray duck.
That's and that's super off topic, but I was like, you know what? I bet Kyle's a Gray Duck, dude.
For sure. It's funny, football, Brian Robinson. He's a big he was a defensive end for the Vikings. It's either him or Chad Greenway. They put either way, one of them put out like a vodka and it's called Grey Duck Vodka. A little spin off on the Minnesota Duck Grey Duck. I thought that's funny.
um, and then kind of last Midwest eccentric thing that I wanted to talk about. All right, so if you have a dish where it's tater tots and
Hot
like
dish.
it's a hot dish, all right,
Hot dish.
that shit's a casserole, bro.
Yeah, that's down south. I feel like you're close enough. You should definitely be a hot dish guy. You're only like 4 hours west of me.
Oh, it's one of them things where I don't know. Just growing up, it's always been casserole for me.
You call it a tater tot casserole.
Yeah.
Tater tot hot dish just like sound. That's like the whole name. It just rolls off the tongue.
Man, I tell you what. So I went to school in Brookings at SDSU,
Mm.
and if I still lived over there, because it's only like 4 hours from the Twin Cities, it's like, damn, I wish I still lived over there, because then I'd go to the Throwback meetups,
Oh yeah,
all the cool events that you guys do,
yeah.
the
You got
tournament.
to come out. You got to come out for the tournament next year. It's a blast. I think we're gonna do a meetup like the day before again. So it's fun. It's worth the drive. How far are you from Twin Cities?
I don't know,
8 hours.
probably something like that. I'd have to look again. Um,
Oh, it is a haul. But we had people come from Texas and Florida, so you don't have an excuse.
no, not really, but my biggest thing is like my schedule with work is just ridiculous. Like I
That's
really
cool.
have to like the year before be like, okay, I need these days off. But it'd be pretty sick because just to get to see everybody. And I got I got the homeless fisherman beanie,
Yeah,
my
sick.
JFT, my Juan's fish taco shirt is upstairs.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I'm a little starstruck right now.
That's silly. Yeah, that's silly. We do have it planned. I think it's June 14th. I'll message you after this and make sure it's the right one. But if you do want to come out, it would be blessed to have you. It's really fun. And last year we filled up the whole tournament pretty quick, so I think it's going to be even quicker this year. So it's gonna be a fun event. I'm excited.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about that a little bit because um you're kind of like one of the only like swim bait guys like makers that does like a bigger tournament like that. There's like some others, but like yours seems
Yeah,
like very popular.
yeah, yeah. This is the third year we did it. Yeah, third year. We kind of honed in on like a home lake, so it's on Lake Coronis, which is out west of us. This is the second year we did it there, and it's just a great lake. Like it has smallmouth, it has largies, so you have both options there. They eat the swim bait great out there. It's a big lake. We have 25 boats. First year I think we filled up with 16 or 17 boats. This fly is killing me right now. Here we go. And the last year we filled up right away, or pretty quick, probably in like a month since we opened it. We had a lot of people who were like, "Shoot, it's close. I missed it." Blah blah blah. So I'm like, when we open it this year, I anticipate to fill up probably pretty quick. So we'll make it clear that like, hey, if you want to do this, you got to get in like right away.
Mm-hmm.
It went really well. First year went even better. Second year went even better. Last year we're just figuring out our process. But yeah, it's a great community builder. You just get to meet all these people who you know online and have known online for years. You get to shake hands. You get to spend basically a weekend. We do the meetup the day before and then the tournament the next day. So it's a whole weekend event, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. And yeah, we just have people. Last year we had Tana from Australia came over with his girlfriend Chloe, stayed with Doug for a week in the Throwback team, and it just hung out with us. So like we had people from abroad, we had people from Florida, Texas. You just get to meet this network of people who you never got to put a face to before. So it's a really really fun event. It's competitive. It's awesome. It's like we do they call out the boats and everyone takes off and everyone's pumped up and you check in live wells and then come in and we did a live weigh-in with everybody there, so everyone's hooting and hollering, and it's a blast. And then we have like I think last year we had 60 like amazing donations from other builders and other companies, so that's huge. Like we couldn't put it on without everyone's support. So these people will donate a bait for the raffle, and then last year we had like these clear plastic bags full of baits. It was like over $400 or $300 in value in every single one, and it's only $250 to sign up for the tournament. So even if you were to completely lose and not not catch any fish, you'd still basically break even on your cost in, granted outside of travel costs and whatnot. But long story short, like it's worth the time, it's worth the money, it's worth the experience. It's really really fun, and we look forward to it more and more every year. So, and like you said, it's growing to be this thing that's kind of, I hope, something that people look forward to every year, and not just a tournament, but kind of a vacation for people. We had a lot of people just come to the tournament last year that were like from out of town that weren't even in the tournament, but they just came to the pre-party before and then came to the tournament to watch it and then left just to hang out. So they weren't even fishing it. But yeah, just rambled on a lot there, but it's a blast. Doug definitely pioneers the tournament thing, and that's his lane and his bread and butter and his baby. So he's done a great job, directing it and putting it on and getting all the donations. So shout out to Doug for doing pretty much all the legwork on that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's sweet, dude. And yeah, like you said, there's people coming from all over the country and the world, because I liked watching the videos like after the fact, like Knowles and Marshall, and getting to see Anthony from Tackle Shacks. And
yeah, Anthony's awesome.
Yeah, he seems like a really like funny dude. Like
it's hilarious.
Yeah, because I watched like all of his videos when he was in Japan, and I was like, he was just having a blast over there. It looked real cool.
Yeah. Anthony's a good dude. I like him.
I guess real quick, speaking of Marshall, I seen the other day on his story, Ethel broke down, and my fiance was like, "Oh, so now he's actually homeless now." And I was like, "Ooh, it's like, damn, that was kind of rough. That was harsh."
He was homeless for a little bit, yes. I just talked to him the other day. I think he got a new van. He went with a diesel, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, he's gonna build it out from what he told me and make some videos on it. So it should be cool little build series on his YouTube, I think.
No, that'd be really cool. I watched this other dude out of he's from Wyoming, and he has like an old Volkswagen. I think it's a Vonnegut.
Okay.
And
oh yeah,
just super sick like little van that he's built out and just kind of travels and
that's
does
cool.
whatever. Yeah, it'd be real.
I had a Vonnegut for like 9 months. We bought it. It was sick. It was an 89, like the coolest. I just tore everything out, had this full build plan, and then we ended up getting pregnant with my daughter River and just didn't have room for it. But it was so sick. I think those things are awesome, those old VW buses. Yeah. They are a pain now. They are not reliable at all, unless you like LS swap them or something. But
oh yeah, he has like a whole. he's like always like doing work on it. He's like, oh, it kind of sounds like I got some like piston slap. Ah, we'll just run it. We'll see what happens.
Jeez,
I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's not good. But run it till it
that's
blows up,
fun.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you used to be in. It sounded like you used to be into like cars and kind of like drifting or racing before you got
It
into
was. Yeah, I was
fishing and all
pretty
that.
heavy into the car scene. I mean, I've always fishing was like when I was 2 or 3 years old. That was like my thing. It's always been my thing. But yeah, high school when I started driving, I just got. I do love cars. I love like JDM, Japanese drift, that like whole kind of Tokyo drift vibe. I just love it. My favorite thing was to like buy an old ugly car and like make it look good and make it look unique, something like that. But yeah, I did. I wouldn't say I drifted, but we went to like events and car shows and blah blah blah. But the most fun was just building cars and tweaking them and getting the exhaust done. And I did the body kit route once and did it all myself and just learned a lot. We did like a transmission swap on one of the Lexuses I owned where I took the automatic out and put a manual in, and that was like it was like a 3 month ordeal. But man, did I learn so much! And to
Hmm.
this day, like I feel like I could work on a car pretty confidently. So I think the life skills you get from being a car guy is well worth it.
Oh, for sure. I have this Jeep Cherokee, and it's a if you're like a Jeep guy, it's an XJ body, and
Okay,
so what's kind of cool about those, and I told my buddy's a diesel mechanic and works on cars. He's like doing a whole build on his uh Mitsubishi Lancer right now.
okay,
Like it's
oh yeah,
super sweet like build on it. And he sent me this video of these guys that took a Toyota Lexus 2JZ motor
oh
and
yeah,
threw it into their XJ. And I was
oh,
like, apparently you only need like a little bell housing adapter
crazy.
and it just fits perfectly. And then
That's
you have,
wild.
yeah, and then you,
A lot of power.
yeah, you potentially have like, if you want to turbo it and have a turbo 2JZ and then four-wheel drive, I was like, that's kind of wicked.
That's so sick.
Maybe if the 4.0 blows up, maybe I'll have to
Yeah.
like look into that.
Yeah, that's crazy. The 2J, that's like the engine of all engines. That's so sick. My
Yeah, they're
buddy actually had a 350Z that he sent down to drove down to Texas and then had it 2J swapped down there. And so we all like it took like 9 months to build down there. The shop tuned it, and then we all drove down in his Suburban, this clapped out Suburban with the trailer. And we picked the car up from the guy at the just like this dumpy little mechanic, and it was so sick. It was like the coolest, craziest sounding car, and then we took it to a drift event the next day, and then we drove it back. It was a pretty fun trip.
that's pretty sweet. No, I think you're right. Just like working on cars and kind of the life skills that you get, and especially if you're here in the Midwest, and I'm working on a 25-year-old vehicle, and there's some swearing and some colorful language when I'm trying to
Oh
get
yeah,
a rusty bolt off.
yeah. That's an essential step to every single car mission is a lot of swearing. So
Um, so from the beginning, how did kind of your bait making journey start?
okay, so 2020. Prior to 2020, I was a freelance videographer and
Hmm.
photographer. I did a lot of weddings, a ton of weddings. That was kind of like my income was weddings, and then I did a lot of like freelance work for. I worked for the Vikings for a couple of years and shot for the entertainment network there, and then I shot a lot of like just freelance stuff for hunting companies, a couple fishing companies, a couple outdoor companies. Really, anything that came my way, I just took it on. And then 2020 rolled around, COVID happened, lockdown happened, and weddings were just gone. So it was like, and at the time, I had 4 kids. Me and Nicolette had 4 kids together, and a fifth one on the way because River was born in 2020, end of 2020. And so yeah, all of a sudden, like spring rolls around and my income's just gone. I have no job. So I'm like, okay, this is what I signed up for as an entrepreneur is being ready for this stuff to happen. The craziest thing happened, all my job's gone. So I was like, all right, time to figure out something else. And I hadn't really like the from the start. It wasn't like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a swim bait company. I'm gonna make money off this. I was just like, I'm jobless. I've got time. I've got a lot of time. I'm gonna make a swim bait. So I bought a block of wood. Where's the original? There it is. I bought a like $10 block of wood off of Amazon. There's a basswood block like this big. I like I drew this out, and then I just started whittling away with some wood whittling kit that I got off of Amazon as well. It's like a whole whopping $17 investment in. And a couple weeks later, I had the original Wake Walker. Reverse a little bit, rewind a little bit. Before it was completely done, I started the page. I started an Instagram page. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to document this just for crap and giggles. I don't know if I can swear on here. And I'll see what happens with it. I'll just document the process. And then I was like, let's come up with a name for it. Came up with Throwback Baits because I'm just kind of like a, retro, vintage, kind of old soul kind of guy. And I was like, that feels right. Throwback Baits, call it that. And I'm documenting like every single step, like the carving process, the head, the eyes, the fin, the molding process. And along the way, it's starting to like build momentum. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I got a call. There you go. Can you still see me?
Yeah, but you're sideways.
Okay. We're back.
Oh, there you go.
So it started building momentum, and people were like, "This is sick, very cool," and I'm loving it because you get some followers, you get some people messaging you, documenting the whole process, and then I get this done, and then I build the molds off of this, and I poured like the first. Very convenient that I have everything right here, huh? So prepared. I poured the first like version of the resin, which this is one of them, with the OG round eye and indented fin, that's a straight spin off of that. So obviously you can't make them out of wood. So I was like, okay, I'll figure out how to make resin. Dove down the YouTube rabbit hole, figured out a lot of stuff. Shout out to like the Engineered Angler and Marling Baits and a couple other channels that I found of how to do this stuff. That was like my main source of knowledge was YouTube for sure. So I made a couple resin ones. I have some swim videos of me, with an ice fishing rod, pulling them around in my my bathtub to get them to swim right. Kind of got them to swim in my bathtub, and then I texted my an old teacher of mine at the high school who is a swim coach, and it was like January at the time, so there's no water open. So I said, "Hey, Miss Tam, can I come in? This is strange. Can I come into the pool and throw some of these fishing lures in the pool and get them to swim? Because I needed to like be able to bomb cast them and see how they worked, right?" And she's like, "Yep, come on in." So I walk in with like an 8-foot Dobbins and a bucket of baits, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just trust me." So then I was throwing this thing in the pool, got it pretty dialed in the pool. I would glue weights on the bottom and tweak things and like write everything down so I could remember it. So I got the swim pretty dialed in. This is like January. Tell me if I'm going too in depth on this, okay?
No, you're all good.
Okay. I don't know, way after time. So I got the swim dialed in, and then all of a sudden people are like, "When are you gonna sell it?" I'm getting messages. "When are you gonna sell these? When are these like when are you doing a drop?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I really didn't have any intention of dropping these or selling them. So enough messages come in. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll sell some of these. I just go on Swimbait Universe. I'm like, what's the normal bait cost? It's like anywhere from $100 to $200. I'm like, okay, I'll do $140 for this, for the Wake Walker. I got some boxes made. That was a big thing too in the beginning, was getting our branding set up right away. So this is the first box we made. Ken, Lost 40 Lures, who's my dude, who's the throwback dude, does everything for us. He made the first Wake Walker box. It's enormous, but it fit. He made the first box. He made like my first logo, all the first logos. He got me like set up with the color scheme, everything. That was a really good idea to go through Ken. My buddy Mike Tinas was like, "Yeah, you got to do this. You got to get one guy that establishes like your brand and your colors and go from there, right? You have a feel from the beginning." So everything I feel like has intentionally been, throwback, the throwback vibe from the beginning. Everything's kind of on brand of that. So anyway, I made like 10 lures, I think. I painted them up in like all black because I had no idea how to paint. We did a drop and they went in like a minute. And I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. This is like probably middle winter, springish. Did the drop of 10. I'm like, this is wild. And Nicolette was like, well, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know, this is crazy. So fast forward a couple more weeks, and I'm like, I'll do another drop, and we'll do like 20. And I think, see if I have one down here. Oh no, I had a local painter actually paint 10 of them for me. So he was like brand new to baits, but he had prior like airbrush knowledge. So he painted 10 in like a cool gill pattern and a crappie pattern, and then we dropped those. And again, they went in like I was in Florida and we dropped the second batch, and they went in like a minute. And I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy. So fast forward another month, we dropped 40, and that was like when we dropped the first batch of 40, and then went to again in like a minute or two. I was like, okay. I told Nicolette, I was like, we might have something here. I said, I think we should like buckle down and do this. I think we should, make fishing lures intentionally as a business. So from there, it was like a year and a half of just chaos and like figuring out how to do this. I had River was born in July of 2020, so she was like a newborn. So we had 4 kids at the time, and then fast forward a year, and I had another kid. So it was just like kids and baits and new business and not sleeping really at all and working out of my shop and never really being present. I have a lot of guilt for like never really being present as a dad and never really being present as a business owner because I worked in my backyard. The door's open, my kids are right there, but work's right here. So there was this giant cluster of like a really not running smooth operation, but things were going forward and the demand was building. Like behind the scenes, it was a little rough for 2 years, I would say. It was pretty difficult on like the family and on me and everything. But on the Instagram business side of things, it's like, oh, things are great and they're amazing. So that's kind of a funny. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, those were a rough couple years. But looking back, they're also like the essential years of building Throwback. But we were surviving and we made it and we got through it and went to the gathering twice and met everyone and really dove into the community head first, and shout out to Swimbait Universe and Wayne for having that community of people who those people really like stepped it up and encouraged me to keep going and kept buying the baits and had good words and kind words. So the community really like lifted me through a lot of those hard times. And my mom was my first employee. She again was like a huge part of Throwback. She poured up until we got, our staff that we have now. My mom poured every single bait out of every mold. Like there was a point very early on where I stopped pouring and I just painted and sanded and cleared and did everything else. And she was like our pourer. So shout out to my mom, and Nicolette obviously is like my rock through everything. She was like the one who kept going. She would, be with the kids all day and I'd be working, and then she would put the kids to bed and come out and sit with me till 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. and sand baits with me. Like she's the only reason this is really here is my mom and Nicolette from getting me through the tough years for sure. So shout out to the girls. I always wanted to make a shirt that said made by moms with like a wake walker, and I think it'd be kind of sick. No one really get it, but it would mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
The two moms holding it together. Fast forward to 2022, fall of 2022. I went fishing with one of my best friends, Billy, who owned a marketing company at the time. And he was like, I'm going to sell my half of the marketing company. I'm going to get out because he just wasn't happy with how it was going or where it was going and whatever, and just needed a little change. So he was like, hey, do you think there's a place for me at Throwback? And it was just me and my mom and Nicolette at the time. I was like, yeah, I don't really know what you do. And he's like, well, I have ideas. So we had a little meeting. He went over his proposal for what he could bring to Throwback, and I was like, okay. So I brought him on as an owner in 2022, fall of 2022. So I gave him a chunk of Throwback, which at the time was like, yeah, I don't know what the value is, but it wasn't much. So brought him on, and then Billy was there with me every day. He would drive from Stillwater, which is like an hour and 10 minutes, to my house in Monticello, and sit there and sand baits with me. And we call them shop nights, where we'd sit in the shop late at night and work basically all night and make baits. And prior to this, the Marshall, I mean, obviously Marshall is a huge essential piece of this. That's like a whole other story. But yeah, Marshall came around very early on when I had first made the first, like, I don't know, 5 baits. I sent him the Clifford one, the red one. That's somewhere in here. And he caught fish on it. And then that summer, I think it was 2021, that summer, he came out to our house, fished with me. We hit it off. He stayed at my house for a month and became like our son, and we called him the son. And he had Marshall's room was in the basement. He lived with us, and then that was like the obviously he's one of my best friends too, and like that relationship just blew up, and we kind of grew together. Marshall went like
Hmm.
this, and we were way behind, but we were still going up. So like we've always had this, a lot of people think, a lot of people will message Throwback and say, "Hey Marshall," and Marshall will tell me that a lot of people will message Marshall and say, "When are you dropping baits?" He's like, "That's not how it works." But it's just always been like that, and I'm super thankful for everything that he's done for us, and it's cool to see him blow up and get to this point of the status he has, and it's well deserved, and he fishes his butt off, and he works his butt off, and he's very very deserving of everything he has, and it's exciting to see him grow to the point that he has. So yeah, but he was in the shop with me all those late nights before Billy came around, and before you know even before my mom was there for a little bit. It was just me and Marshall, grinding and listening to Primus and listening to corn bugs and these stupid all the stupid stuff we did, making content together, and it was a blast. And those were some of the golden years for sure, of just like messing around but somehow building a business off of messing around. It was the best. So sorry, I don't want to not talk on the Marshall. I could go. We have a lot of stories and a lot of things to unpack with Marshall, and all the stuff we've done together, but we can say that for another day. That's a whole podcast in its own. So
No,
anyway,
that's all
go
good.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because you and Marshall, you guys have like your signature color, the pink
Yeah.
lemonade, and
Yes.
what do I want to say about it? Recreated a lot, but yeah, just iconic color that you guys came up with.
Yeah. Yeah. A little touch on the pink lemonade. Marshall, and Lateral Vision.
Hmm.
This was like the beginning of pink lemonade. I was like, Marshall, what color do you want to be your signature color? Because we're gonna do our baits, Marshall's color, Lateral Vision gear. So he's like, what about pink lemonade? So I sent him like three different options, then we landed on this one. And we'd only dropped like 25 baits, I think, with Lateral Vision, but they were gone in a couple minutes. And this was like early 2022, I think. And then it was just like nothing for 2 years. He like really didn't do the color again. And then I think it was late. It must have been 2024, 2 years ago. A year and a half ago, we brought it back with the Metros, and then it was like that's when it started. We did it 3 years ago with Lateral Vision, and it was born. But then we did it on the Metros, and that exploded like last fall and winter. That time frame with Marshall and Pink Lemonade and the two of us working together on that and all Throwback, like that catapulted us into this new realm of like the Pink Lemonade Metro being the bait that everybody wants and everybody has to get. So that was sick. Shout out to Marshall on that. We worked really hard on some of the videos we made for those, and really pushed it and got it out there, and it like really showed that like if you push something hard and you put a lot of effort towards the marketing side of stuff, it does well. So
Hmm.
yeah, Pink Lemonade's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
I think it's great because I think one of the things that sold it for me is like so like in this area, there's only a couple lakes with smallies, but I
Uh,
was like, I need a pink lemonade metro because that's what's gonna catch the smallmouth. Because
it's true.
Marshall's up there in Minnesota just smashing the smallies
Oh
on
yeah,
this pink lemonade metro.
it's so loud and obnoxious, but everything loves it. Every fish eats it. Katana over in Australia caught like a meter long barramundi on a pink lemonade, of course, of all colors. Yeah, there's something to it. It needs to be studied someday, but yeah, the pink lemonade.
Yeah, I painted a G2 shell cracker in pink lemonade. I still need to finish clear coating it. I procrastinate so hard on stuff, but it's just hanging up and it's like half clear coated, and I was like, oh, I need to finish that sometime.
You'll get to it. You'll get
Uh,
to it.
oh, but yeah, I was like looking at it. I was like, because I used to have a pink lemonade metro, and
Yeah,
then I was like, all right, for the water out here, I was like, I just don't think this is actually like what I want. So I went and sold it, and it's like, okay, I'll get just a different metro when I can, in
nice.
like more of a natural color. But I was like looking at the metro, and then I was looking at this G2 shell cracker. I was like, this is sick. I was like, this color's so beautiful on this like ABS bait.
That's sick. I love it. Okay, so back on track. I'll make it brief. 2022, Billy came around in the fall, brought him on as a partner. He grinded with me, super workhorse. We got Throwback, like got some gears really starting to move, double our output. We're doing a ton of baits. And then spring rolls around and we brought on our another good friend of ours, Doug, as a partner. So it's the three of us now, three owners. And then April or whatever, April, May, when we brought Doug on, we got the shop that we're in right now. So we got a location in Maple Grove where we have a warehouse space, an office, and a storefront. And then from here, then it's just been an insane 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Yeah, 3 years now. 3 years next spring of just growth. Like we had, 8 employees at one. We have 8 employees right now, 6, 7, or 8. We're hovering around that between the three of us, and my mom works a little part time still. But yeah, we have 6 to 7 employees that are full time here, and we're pumping out over around 1,000 baits a month. Just to the website drops obviously in stores, and then we have the ABS works in the works, so everything's going 1,000 miles an hour, and it's hectic and chaotic, but every day is very exciting, and my job's the best. It's pretty great. So
Mm-hmm.
things are good. Things are really good.
So I can only imagine what these job interviews are like for your employees. It's like, are they like, it's like, are you familiar with swim baits? Like, do you
Yeah,
fish? Like, is
yeah.
it like that or?
Some of them no, but pretty much everyone who landed here, well, except for one of them. We just brought out another guy, Miguel, who was just a friend of Jur's, who not super big into fishing, but no, he fits in great and he loves it here. But yeah, everybody else like kind of knew about us beforehand and had a preconceived notion of like who we were and what we do. So that helped a lot. Like we have we have some great employees that are like, I don't ever want to leave. They're like brothers, and they're family to me. We take care of our guys. I hope they feel the same way. But yeah, they are amazing and they fit in, and 9 out of 10 times, like all of them fish swim baits. They all love what they do. They have a passion for it. They're always like, hey, what do you think about this on this bait? Like, is this okay? The amount of care that goes into like the baits from our staff that wasn't even like asked. You can't expect people to care. You can't be like, you have to care about this like you're gonna fish it, but they do. So it's amazing. We have the best team ever.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
But
great.
yeah, the interviews are pretty chill. They're like, hey bro, you love fishing? All right, come on. They're not very formal at all, for sure.
Well, and you guys are just in a great area. I would say Minnesota's like probably one of the best areas to fish in the Midwest, just
Oh
because
yeah.
the no like different species and the number of bodies of water that you could fish and stuff like that. Because it's like largemouth, smallmouth, muskie, pike.
Yep.
You know.
And they eat the swim bait, like they eat it
Mm-hmm.
like it's their job. Like I could go out in the river today and catch 20 fish on a glide
Mm-hmm.
pretty confidently. Like you're not gonna. Very rarely is there days where you're like, I'm not gonna get a bite or it's a grind. But obviously, we don't have the size here. You go come across a 5 or 6 if you're lucky. Every now and then. But like it's hard to go out and catch 23, 3.5, 4 pounders and like not have a smile on your face.
No, exactly. And then it's kind of one of those things where you don't know what you're gonna catch because if you're in a lake with muskie, it's like you catch muskie on a metro or a
Oh
retro or
yeah.
whatever you're gonna fish.
Yep. Yeah, there's spots on the river where you can catch world class smallmouth or world class muskie. You have no clue what you're gonna get, so it's pretty special.
Mm-hmm. Is that something you go after a lot? Is muskie?
Muskie.
Yeah.
We actually did target them for the first time this year up in Canada, and we had a lot of success. It was so sick. We brought like a whole box of muskie baits, and the only thing we caught them on were all throwbacks. It was sick. I caught one on the Metro. Billy caught one on the Whirly Bird, and then Doug caught one on the CT, the big glide. And we interacted with probably over 30 fish. It was insane. It was a crazy, crazy 3 days. So yeah, that was a blast. It's fun to target those monsters.
Yeah. My cousin and her husband, they live out in like the Detroit Lakes area,
Uh-huh.
and me and my fiance went fishing up there one time with them, and he's a huge muskie guy and
Okay.
just super serious. But we were walleye fishing, and Dude, he caught like a 3 pound smallie, and I was like pretty stoked for him. He's like, "Oh, this isn't what we're after." Just whoop. It's just like I was like, bro, and
It
just
just
super
flips the
serious.
back.
Yeah,
That's
just
fun.
real super serious about us catching walleye, and then apparently when he's musky fishing, he is just locked in.
Dialed in.
Yeah, but he
I,
also
I'm a I'm a pretty goofy fisherman. I take it pretty lighthearted. I'm like, listen, I'm out here to have fun. I don't need to be like have a good chat. Have some snacks, bring some drinks,
mhm.
relax, have a good time.
um yeah, he used to also like hold the Minnesota catch and release muskie record there for a little
Oh wow.
bit. Yeah, is I think it was right around when they changed some of the rules about it. And
Uh-huh.
so, God, how big was this fish? I gotta look it up real quick, or it's gonna bother me.
A buddy, oh, not a buddy of mine, but a guy I know who I did some video work for has the world record muskie on a fly out of Mille Lacs. I think it was 58 and 3/4
It's wild.
on is insane on like a 10 weight fly rod. It's just a huge streamer.
A 57-inch muskie.
Woo. That's big. Jeez, dude.
Just
Holy cow.
ginormous fish.
Insane. I caught a 39 and a half, and I thought that was big.
Oh yeah,
57, crazy.
anytime I catch like a 30-inch pike, I'm like, this. Well, that to me, it's like okay, 24 plus is where we're kind of getting into like better pike
Yeah,
territory for me.
yeah. I would agree to that.
Um, especially when you have like, dude, those little like snot rocket little like pisser pike will just like T-bone a big 9-inch glide bait, and it's like I have the state record bass on, and then you get it in, it's like a 12-inch pike, and I'm like, okay,
This is the worst. This is the worst.
well, yeah, then you just got this little thing flopping around with big old treble hooks waving all around.
Yeah, that's fun, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, knock on wood, I haven't been hooked that way.
Yeah.
All the times I've gotten hooks in my hand or anything, it's been through a user error.
Oh, sure. Very noble of you to admit.
Yeah. No, not through like a just a little snot rocket pike.
Sure, sure.
Um. So kind of you touched on you're out there, got the snacks. What kind of snacks are you going for? You guys stopping at the
Oh.
Casey's and getting pizza?
I can't do the cake, dude. Pizza, pizza's the best, but I think I'll pay for that if I'm on the boat. Probably need to run back in and take a little potty break if I ate too much pizza on the boat. The problem with pizza is that like once I eat, I'm not gonna eat like one piece. I'll get like three.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fill up on pizza. It's not like a little snack. So snacks, you can't beat like a good country mix, trail mix with the M&Ms and the peanuts, like the rate, that. Quick Trip donuts slap pretty hard on the boat. That's a pretty good one. Some meat sticks. I love good meat sticks. What else? That's kind of it. Those are like the essentials. Donuts, meat sticks, trail mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
What's
for
like the
drink,
go-to drink?
usually just water. I don't go crazy on the drinks. Sometimes, yeah, just water, really. I'm bad about drinking water on the boat. That's the problem. There's been a number of times where I'll be on the boat fishing for a long time, and then I'll be like, I need to sit down because I have a headache. But then I realize I haven't drank water for like 12 hours. So I usually try to play it pretty safe and not mix in any crazy sugary drinks and just drink some water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been out fishing and it's like, oh, I'm a little dizzy now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to stop and like go get some water or like a Powerade or something, and then I
Yeah.
can come back after I've
Yeah.
hydrated.
Oh, I definitely have some caffeine on the boat. I love a good yerba mate. A nice caffeine drink is the best. But that's enough, dude. One time, this is a crazy story. One time I went fishing and I drank this thing. Have you seen those waters? They're called Caffeine Joes.
Mm-mm.
It's water. It's caffeinated water. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I drank like two of them once, and I felt like I was gonna die. It like I don't know if my body was like, hey, this is water. We're keeping it for hydration, but then the energy kicked in and it was just like clashing. Something happened inside of me that day where I was like, I feel like I might die. It was on Mille Lacs, I think. I think it was on Mille Lacs. Yeah, that lake is cursed. Caffeine Joe, stay away from that. I'm like an anti-rep for them. Don't drink it.
No, I just like sounds like something I don't want to drink. I feel like that would
I
just.
thought it was cool.
Uh, oh man, they
It's like 2 for 1. You get hydrated and you're awake. But it's got just this weird slight off taste to it. So you're like it's water, but I can taste the caffeine. I don't know if that's what caffeine tastes like, but yeah, it is not my favorite drink. So
oh we were at
please
this
avoid that.
we were at the store yesterday, and there was like it was like a collaboration between Monster and Vans, and it was like a off the wall like sparkling energy water.
Oh,
And
hell.
I was like, am I gonna drink this? Is this gonna make me want to like punch holes in drywall? Like, what? I don't know what this is gonna do to me.
Oh God, I've seen some like protein water or protein energy drink. I'm like, we gotta stop. There's got to be a limit here. I don't want protein water. I'll probably try it now that I've talked about it, but I don't know. Interesting.
You know, Marshall always gets that like that one. It's like the Japanese water or whatever. It's the
Oh, Sokari Sweat.
yeah. I was like, I'm just real curious about it, but it's
It's
not
like a
something.
Propel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Propel. But it was good, but definitely a lot of sugar in it for sure.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much it hydrates you with the amount of sugar it has in it, but it tastes delicious. I will say that. Like ice cold, I had one ice cold he gave me, and I was like, "Dang, this is pretty good." It tasted refreshing. So
yeah. It just didn't make you feel like your heart was gonna stop with the
no,
the caffeinated water.
the caffeine Joe, stay away from that. That's a no good. Caffeine Joe. You'll know. You'll see it too. It's like a little orange. It's got like a little orange circle, Caffeine Joe, on it. So just
That's
don't try it,
that's wicked.
or maybe try it, and then maybe drink one pre-podcast and see how you do. Could be good
Just
for you.
just be wired. Just be like freaking, just
You're
freaking
like,
out.
Kyle was
Just
a liar. This is amazing.
it's the best thing I've ever had. I for the first time the other day I had a zero sugar white monster,
Oof.
and I could feel every hair on my body.
You could see tomorrow.
No, it was wicked. I was like I get why people like these. It's
Zero
like
sugar white monster, Bill.
Oh, my jam.
That's Bill's jam.
oh man, I totally get it now. It's probably not something I should always have, but it was real good.
No, I'm a greeny guy myself.
Green monster. He's
Green-
full Kyle.
I'm full Kyle mode. Yep. Green monsters for life.
740 grams of sugar per can.
How much?
Probably not far off.
Dude. All right, one thing that I will say that I really like about the area that you're in
Uh-huh.
is off topic from fishing, but the music that you guys like can bring in and some of the bands that like the Twin City areas can
Oh,
bring
yeah.
in
Oh yeah.
because I've been to a couple concerts in the Twin City areas and just a whole wide variety. Like me and
Oh,
my
yeah.
fiance went to Kelly Clarkson one time.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was more for you, to be honest.
it was. Yeah, I was up in the seats.
You knew every word.
I was like,
every
"Since
word.
you've been gone," yeah, just jamming out. And
That's
then me and my brothers, we went to this Swedish band. They're called Sabaton.
Okay.
I don't know if you're
Like
familiar.
EDM or what?
No, it's they're a metal band, and all
Cool.
of their songs are about like war and stuff like that. So they like sing about like World War II stuff, or they have songs about like samurais and shit. But dudes, and they come out and they're in like black tank tops and like camo pants, and they're running around on stage. Like, yeah, they're just
Sick.
yeah, they're a lot of fun, and it was like at a smaller venue, but
Sure.
it was like super cool.
That's
And
cool. Yeah, the music scene in Minneapolis is pretty good. I just grew up here, so like I assume every city is like this, but I know obviously it's clearly not. But yeah, me like it. more times than not, if there's an artist that you like they're doing a tour, they're gonna come to the Twin Cities. So it's pretty nice, yeah.
I would compare this band Sabaton, like I would say kind of like a similar band, like similar vibe with kind of a niche topic that they sing about. It's like Ailstorm, like the pirate metal.
Oh, I've heard of that. Dude, Marshall had like a pirate metal phase. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's because that's the parallel I drew. I was like, I know Marshall likes this band. It's kind of similar to that, and
That's crazy.
yeah, no, it's a super fun concert to go to. Uh, so like with the music, like I like metal music, but I don't like going to metal concerts because
Sure.
I don't like all the pushing and stuff. And always without fail, there's somebody that I'm around and they didn't wear deodorant that day, and
Oh yeah.
I was like, why are you doing this to everybody around you?
Yeah, if you don't like stinky people, I would not go to a metal concert. I would probably want to go to any concert. It's usually pretty warm, you know. It's usually pretty sweaty no matter where you go. Even
Hmm.
like nice seated concerts, I'm like, why is everyone sweating so much? It's hot in here, abyss. To be fair though, I was probably sweating too, so I can't say much.
So what's the vibe in the shop? Are you guys listening to music, podcasts? Are you guys watching
Oh,
like Gossip Girl on the TV? What's the vibe?
good. Everything. Like we have gone through everything. Well, 3 years in this shop and the TV's on all day, every day. And they're like, we've gone through everything. We've done podcasts. We've done every fishing show you could possibly imagine, every YouTuber you could possibly imagine, every genre of music. I mean, every single genre of music. I'll let you in on a little secret here. We have, if you YouTube search Shrexophone, it is this animated Shrek playing a
Up,
saxophone.
up familiar.
There's 100-hour version of it, and we're working through that right now. So we'll put on like an hour a day of Shrexophone just so because we just want to see if we can get through all 100 hours. Yeah, that's if that doesn't lay out like the vibe in the shop that we're trying to successfully as a team work through 100 hours of Shrexophone, then I don't know what else to tell you. It's yeah, we've gone through it all. It's good. It's all good. It's all usually funny or obnoxious or off the wall or we do love like a decent amount of classics, classic rock, and then we'll have some heavier stuff. Avenged Sevenfold usually goes on. We'll put like 93X rocks on, and then we had like probably the deepest phase we had was like 90s and to the early 2000s punk, like Blink 182, Rage Against the Machine, that kind of vibe. That one stuck for a year almost, where it was like all that. So that was a fun. I enjoyed that music a lot. That was a very good throwback vibe. So
Hmm.
that's the rundown on the music
Yeah,
shop
I feel
vibe.
like I feel like you guys would really vibe if you like bump some like Red Hot Chili Peppers up in there.
Oh, there's a lot of there. A lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, a lot of Foo Fighters.
Hmm.
There's like I don't know, our YouTube, no matter what we put on, like, how YouTube recommends the next song.
Hmm.
I put on like Katy Perry, and the next song will be Foo Fighters. And no matter who I put on, like sometimes it's the next song, sometimes it's like 3 songs away. But like I'll put on a podcast about Lemonade, and then two videos later, Foo Fighters is on. I'm like, how did this get on? It's like
Hmm.
Foo Fighters. I think Foo Fighters pays YouTube to just be like it's like the next song, no matter what. A Foo Fighters song is in the chain.
Yeah,
It's
I
not bad.
wouldn't.
Never mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad about that. I was just jam out every time. It's like, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
we're going from Katy Perry like Roar to
yeah.
Everlong by Foo Fighters. It's just
We always listen to then we just end up listening to Foo Fighters all day. So it's not bad. Could
yeah.
be worse.
I tell you what, my first throwback bait was a wake walker,
Yeah.
and how I acquired this wake walker is I had the three first copies of the S&T magazine.
Uh-huh.
I traded those three magazines for a wake walker.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It was yeah. I was like, I told Adrian that I was like
It's crazy.
that's how much value. I think I put like it's like the three S&T magazines and like $30 on top of it, but
Sick.
and then
Crazy.
yeah, then I think, dude, I'm always like wheeling and dealing with my swim baits.
That's awesome.
So I was like, well, I need to get another wake walker at some point, but I traded it for something else, and I don't even remember at this point. And it's probably something I don't even have anymore because I'm always,
Sure.
it's like I want to try new baits and like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
keep what I really like and just keep wheeling and dealing. It's like
Oh yeah.
crack. I'm just really
I
addicted.
was deep into the wheeling and dealing for like 2 years. I was like obsessed with it when I got into the universe. Now I'm like, I have all of my baits and a couple other like anyone who's gifted me a bait, I'll keep that. Obviously not going to trade that, but my years of, trading stuff and multiples for one, they're done. But it was fun while it lasted. Is the dopamine rush is like you said, it's like drugs. You're like,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah, so this cheat code that I have, this was probably the most like, so this is
DNA.
like, yeah, BNA.
Yeah,
And
sick.
so when I got this cheat code, had no bill, it had no tail, and it looked like somebody had just freaking bashed this into like a dock because there's like a huge indent like on this side from the joint
Oh, it's like,
hitting each other, and
nice.
there's like little chips and stuff in it. And then I was
It
like,
looks
all right,
well loved.
it was very well loved,
Sick.
and I so I was like,
Brought
okay,
it back
what?
to life.
Yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. I can put a new lip in, and I can get a tail. Those are readily available on the website.
Oh yeah,
And so when I put the new bill in, I used. So you guys recommend using like gel super glue
for the
uh,
tails,
for the
not for the lip.
tails, not for the lips. All right, well I tried like just doing regular ass super glue,
Yeah.
and it set up too fast before I could like really get it in, and I was like, so it's like halfway's in there, like half off to the side. I was like,
Well, that's funny. You should be able to
fuck.
pop it out.
Oh,
Just
so
grab
I
a
took
hard.
I took the end of a screwdriver. I was like, I'm just gonna
Did you?
pop it out.
Yeah.
Broke this whole like front off. And I was like, fuck. And
Oh, that sucks.
so yeah, it really sucked. But I sent it to um Brendan Brown
Uh-huh.
Baco,
Yeah.
and he got it all fixed up for me and put
Nice,
in a
dude.
longer screw eye and
Nice.
runs like it should. And
Oh,
I just
pretzel.
yeah, dude, I probably shouldn't like get rid of this ever because if I
Got good
like
mode right now.
well, it got good mojo, but also I don't think I'd have to like sell it for like $20 because I don't think anybody's gonna want a really loved bait like this.
What lies underneath the paint? No one will know.
Dude, I'll just
12
landlord
cracks.
special. I'll just like put a new layer of paint over it.
It's funny. That's cool though. I like that. I love those baits.
No, dude, yeah,
Battle baits.
it's epic bait. The first time I threw this, I had like the lake I was throwing it at, um, just like awful lake for uh largemouth fishing. But I had a
Yeah.
1 pounder like really follow it over a grass bed, and then I had to leave shortly after, so it kind of sucked. But no, and I throw this on a medium bait casting rod.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this code. It's a good
Oh,
cranking bait.
oh, for sure. And I don't know. I kind of like this is like overrated for that rod because that rod's only rated for like 3/4
Sure.
ounces. But dude, it just throws this really good. And
Yeah.
uh, when you, because I'm just lob casting it, but I'm also like off a kayak or a paddleboard, so
Yeah.
it's like I don't really need to get it out there too far.
Sick.
Um, so with you and Marshall's relationship, did he kind of introduce you to the whole paddleboard fishing thing?
Oh yeah. 100%. Yep. Yeah, he showed me that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna kind of dive into this, and I love it. Like prior to me having a boat, that was kind of like the way to go. So, and there's a lot of like skinny rivers around us where you can't really get a boat in. That's what I'll float with my paddleboard now because I have the boat, so I use the boat for lakes. But yeah, Marshall got me onto the paddleboard thing, and I'm obsessed. It's so fun. It's such a cool point of view too to film from. You just get your camera right above your head. So I have some footage coming here shortly from a river float I did with Tyler Reels fishing. But yeah, there are some insane eats on the Wake Walker LT, like right in front of the board. It's such a cool angle, and you can really just like you're in tune with the water. You're right in there. You really just have it's like a different element of fishing. I highly recommend it if you haven't done it.
Yeah, I gotta do it. So I borrowed my boss's paddleboard, and um, I threw around the cheat code a little bit, but then I was throwing around the Gracely finesse scale a lot,
Yeah.
and hooked into one on the finesse scale, and I don't know, it was just so cool because versus like my kayak, it's like all right, put my rod down, adjust real quick, but it's like once my brain and like my legs could connect, like how to kick my legs to
Oh
position
yeah,
myself,
it's
it's
so
like
sick.
I'm just like strolling down the bank,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
dude, it was super
Yeah, you can
sick.
like position yourself. You kind of do this little circular thing, and you turn it, and you're anchoring it. It's so fun. It's like a, you know, it's kind of like driving. Once you do it, then you're like, it's like driving a manual. You're like, it's kind of work, but then you start doing it. Like this is more fun than it was before.
Hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, then especially like once you learn how to like drive a manual, and then you're like, oh, like look at me, I'm texting and driving a manual. Not that you should do that, but
That's funny.
um, yeah, don't text and drive. That's real dangerous, people.
Yeah.
But um, dude, I learned how to drive a manual on a little my buddy's like late '90s two-wheel drive little Toyota pickup,
Nice.
and just like back county highways, and they're just like all tore up and potholy, so we're just like over both sides of the road.
That's awesome.
No, it
I
was it
miss,
was
I need a manual in my life again. I miss him.
oh yeah, it was really epic. Then when I was living in Florida, my boss was like, "Oh, you could drive a manual, right? You know, you're kind of like a country boy." And I was like, "Yeah, I could drive a manual." And then he was like, "All right, well, you're gonna have this little like Ford Ranger to like drive around as a service truck." I was like, then I thought about it. I was like, dude, my manual experience is a lot different than me driving in like a city.
Traffic. Yeah.
I was like, never mind. I don't know how to drive a manual. I can't do it. I'd just
Funny.
be at a red light, just like freaking killing it every time.
Yeah, it's a different vibe when you get ice drive my manual Lexus in like rush hour traffic. So it was like stop and go. That was right, and that was like a loud car with a really stiff like stage 3 clutch. So it was like a workout. I'm like, man, I loved it, but it was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, like I think I was a little bit spoiled because like his little Toyota pickup was just so easy to drive. It was like
Sure. Yeah,
it
buttery.
was just buttery, yeah. And
Yeah.
that thing would not die. I've literally seen him like ram that little pickup into like a 4 foot snowdrift.
It's sick.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so
dude. Um, so back to the baits. So you guys have the ABS bait. How is that whole process? Because I've heard other people be like it's such a pain to like get an ABS bait and go through all of that and production and everything. How did that work for you guys?
Yeah, it's pain. It's a lot of work. I mean, we did for about 2 years. We prototyped and sent things back and forth, tweaking, and 3D printing stuff and changing filaments and testing tolerances and getting everything that it's a quite an extensive process. And then once you get it done, it's getting the package made, getting the design done, getting the all the regulations done. It's getting the trays made. It's getting the which hooks do you want? Which split rings do you want? What eyes do you want? What color eyes do you want? What do you want the lip to look like? What's the finish you want? And then it's which paint jobs do you want? It's matching paint jobs, confirming paint jobs back and forth. It is an extensive process. But yeah, we made it, got them done. They're here. We're super proud of them. They fish incredible. I don't know if you fished them yet, but they are incredible. They fish really well, and they've been selling well, and they've been catching a lot of fish. So I have nothing to say other than thank you, and we made it. But yeah, it's quite a process. It is not an easy thing. ABS in general gets a bad rap for being cheap crap plastic, but they're strong. I
Mm-hmm.
will argue they're incredibly strong, and they're not easy to make. And the process is nothing about the process is cheap. I'll tell you that much. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a new venture, but it's exciting. It's exciting.
No, it definitely seems like it. And that was that was probably like one of the next like throwback baits I'd buy myself, instead of like trading. It's like, all
Mhm.
right, well, these are like super affordable, and
Yeah,
they're like an in between size of like the resin wake walker and like
Yep.
the cheat code. It's like
Yeah,
it's right in between. Like just seems
perfect.
like a real good size for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very buoyant too. They sit really high, so they wake a little better than the resin and the cheat code do. There's just so much air in there that they stick to the surface really well. It's awesome bait.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like when I had the wake walker, I kind of liked to fish it a little fast, get it like a little bit under the
Yeah.
surface.
Yeah, it's a good little cranking bait. Yeah.
Um,
The wolf walker.
what are the plans for future maybe ABS projects? Metro. I feel like I see uh, an ABS Metro on your Instagram.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're working on the ABS Metro right now. I mean, if things go the way we plan, we'll hopefully release it with ICAST next year in July, so midsummer. But
Hmm.
yeah, that'll be the same price point, $49.99, and probably have some more colors for that one. The box is designed and it's the coolest box we've ever made, so I'm very excited about that. Everything about that's exciting.
Dude,
And swims really good, so I'm pumped.
that's saying a lot because like your guys' branding and just the vibe of everything is all very cohesive. Like I have a
Mhm.
marketing background. Like it's all
So
very cohesive and just, you know, you can and just like with how your guys' baits are, you can look at one of your guys' baits and be like, that's a throwback, you know?
that's it. Yeah, that's what
They
we want. So that's a big compliment. Thank you.
um so like with the Wake Walker LTs, like are there any plans to have like blanks for them and send them out to painters or anything like that, or do some custom colors from you guys?
Yeah. Let's see. It's actually falling brown.
Sick.
Nice. And then we have the rose gill as well. So those will be two colors that we put out. And then blanks, maybe. I think we might. Yeah, just trying to figure out how to sell them and if there's really a market for them. But yeah, possibly blanks for painters because I think that'd be cool for people to paint their own so they don't have to scratch off the old one. But
Hmm.
yeah, those two and then blanks possibly.
Hmm. No, and that's one of the coolest things about like this community is being able to like collab with other painters and
Yeah.
builders, and
Oh yeah.
it's like have your guys' like colors on a different bait, or vice versa, like
Yeah.
you guys painting
Yeah, it does a
some
lot
other
for
stuff.
the whole community. And we elevate and raise people up and yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I do love working with other painters. There's a lot of talented painters out there. So it's cool to see other people's work on our baits for sure.
Hmm. No, that's one of the coolest things for me is there's just like so much like creativity in this community,
Oh
and
yeah.
everybody does stuff a little differently, so it's always
Yeah.
really cool to see.
Right. Yeah.
um
Very well said.
mhm. what's what would you say has been one of the hardest baits for you guys that's in production right now that you guys have had to dial in?
The regular retroglide
Hmm.
by far the hardest one because it's a slow wide glide. So it has to be super, super stable. Like it can't lean forward, it can't swoop back. It took like a year and a half for the retroglide, the OG one, the smooth one with the very small joint.
Hmm.
That was a hard date for sure. That one took forever. Metroglide was like 2 weeks. We got it dialed in. Everything else is pretty quick. I'm a bit of a maniac when it comes to building new baits, so I want to I want them done now. It's hard for me to pick up a new bait outside of like the softy really because that's a lot of that stuff is different. But like a hard bait, it's hard for me to pick one up and not like want to get it dialed in 3 days because that's just obsessive.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the good thing now is you don't have to go to your high school's pool. You can just go back into the shop in the swim tank.
Yes. We do have the swim tank now. God bless the swim tank. I love that. It's sick.
Because you guys have like the retro now where it has the wider
Yeah,
joint.
the CT, which is the chop tune. And that one was just like once we understood the weighting of the Metro, that one was pretty easy. That took a day or two to get it dialed in. So
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah,
Which
their OG Retro was a tough cookie to crack for sure.
between the two, which of those do you like better, the retro CT or the wide glide one?
I like the CT.
Hmm.
CT's so fun. It's just so fun. It's a big bait, don't get me wrong, but man, the way it just chops through the water and it's so sick. Yeah. I'm a pretty fast fisherman though. I don't fish very slow. So if I mean I do enjoy the retro, the OG retro. It's got its time and its place, but the CT is kind of like the shiny thing, kind of always looking at it.
Hmm. No, I have the same issue. It's like I fish way faster than I probably ever should. And, sometimes it works for me, but like it's to the point because I love throwing a jig. It's to the point where
Mhm.
it's like I throw a jig and it's like it's and then I have to like catch myself. It's like, okay, this is way too fast.
Yeah, right.
I gotta slow this down so these fish can actually see it and like come up to it and react to
Oh
it
yeah.
versus me
Oh
just
yeah. Hey, well, I don't mean to stop you. I got about 5 minutes left before I got to hop on this other meeting. So
nope, you're all good. You're a busy guy. You got this very successful business. Why don't we just round this out? You can I'm sh I'm sure people know where to find you, but where can people find you and
yeah.
maybe leave them with some words of wisdom.
Okay, okay. You can find us at Throwback Baits on Instagram. www get this fly away from me. www.throwbackbaits.com is our website. The baits on there. Words of wisdom. Oh man, I don't know, man. Chase your dreams. That's from someone who didn't think I could ever make a living selling fishing lures, and fishing once a week as my job. Chase your dreams and don't give up. And you got to
Mm,
make it through the hard stuff. So don't be afraid to fail. That's probably the biggest thing I could say. Don't be afraid to fail, because I think the failure is the fastest way to learn, and learning is the fastest way to get to the top. So like the more you fall flat on your face and the harder you fall and the longer you fall flat on your face, the more you're learning every time. You'll never make those mistakes again and you'll grow from it. So, a lot of people fall and fail and then they'll give up, but that's the one thing that we did, I think, is failed a lot and just kept going. So don't give up.
hell yeah, dude. Well, we will hop off this, and yeah, I'm gonna
Thank you
try.
very much
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna.
having us. I appreciate it a ton. It means a lot to get to chat.
No, and I'm just starstruck this whole time.
Don't be. I'm a very normal guy. I promise you that. Probably not as cool as you think. So
Yeah. So yeah, just let me know about the when the tournament is, so I can
yeah,
get my PTO in, because I
yeah, please do.
will definitely try.
Heck yeah. All right,
All right,
brother. Well, I appreciate it a ton. Have a
all right.
great day.
Thanks, you too, Kyle.
You guys.